The best speakers are the best listeners. Eileen Wilder. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. Former pastor living on humble means. Her husband was an Uber driver to help bring in extra income to support the family. However, all of this changed when she discovered how to do 6- and 7-figure days using virtual events. Called by major industry leaders the Queen of Stages, I was recently joined on an IG Live by Eileen Wilder, co-author of $1 Million Speaker. I thought it would be great to share the chat she and I had on Instagram because she shared such valuable information around growing your business as a speaker. Our conversation was pretty laid back and fun, but if you have thought about being a speaker, know you have something to share that will inspire others, or just as a leader in your own business, you want to listen to my chat with Eileen. Hi, there she is.
What's up, Monica?
Hi, how are you?
So good. Pumped to be here with you today. Yeah.
I'm so excited that you are here. And I am so excited about this book.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's good. It is so good.
Yes. Are you enjoying it? I know. Tell me what you think. Oh my gosh.
I absolutely love it. I haven't finished it yet, but it is so good. I started reading it by the pool when I was in Orlando.
What?
It is so good. It is jam-packed full of great information. But we'll get to that in a minute. I want people to know who you are. I know that you were a pastor. Your husband drove Uber so you guys could just live and eat. And now you are a world-class, high-paid speaker.
What? Yes. What's up, guys? If we haven't met before, my name's Eileen Wilder. I'm here in Houston, Texas. And just 2.5 years ago, my husband was Uber driving to support our family. But now we've kind of catapulted into figuring out how to have a multi-million-dollar business. And now we help other people do the same thing, crushing it from stage as a speaker. So yeah, that's what I'd love to dive. It's a formula. We cracked the code. It's crazy pants. Super pumped to dive in if you feel called to the stage.
Queen of the stage. That is you. So tell me, what inspired you to help other people start a speaking career?
Yeah, well, I don't know if any of you guys watching have ever seen somebody kind of crush it from stage and been like, how are they doing that? Like, how are they speaking so powerfully, so dynamically? And how do they, like, do they get invited? Is there, like, how do you get to have a career as a full-time speaker and a highly paid speaker? So that was something I wondered. And I'm curious if you ever felt called to the stage, Monica. I know this is an awesome stage that you have right now, right? And a lot of people feel this tug, this, like, I don't know, this sense of calling to get their message out to the masses. And so we figured out a step-by-step formula for people to craft their signature message as well as do their own event. And then when they do their own event, Monica, they have a 6- or 7-figure day, which sounds crazy town. But there's a way to get a cash infusion as a speaker. So that's what we've kind of, we lights us up, gets us up in the morning. We love to help people get their message out to the masses.
I think that is amazing. 6 and 7 figures. Tell me more about how you help people do that.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of speakers, they take this long runway to success, Monica. Like, they think they have to get invited on all these stages. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that the main way they monetize is through like a speaker fee. Like I don't know if y'all know this, but like some speakers, they charge like $5,000 or $10,000 or $25,000 to come and speak on your stage. But it's a really long runway for somebody just starting out to command high prices enough that you could make 6 or 7 figures. Like you got to have a lot of social proof. You have to have been on a lot of big stages, a lot of famous pants people have to say you're awesome. Be like, Monica's legit. She's fire sauce. Like it's like a long thing. But there's a secret that the greatest speakers do, which is this. They create their own products.
Okay.
And they create their own stage. Like they create their own little universe, their own little arena, their own little world where they have their own super cool event. And you can do it now. This is so cool, Monica, just virtually. So having your own like virtual event is the way people can become quickly $1 million speakers.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I've always thought that it was a long road to get there. And so I kind of steer clear of it because I'm like, I don't want to do all that to finally make money.
Yeah.
So, wow. That is amazing. That's the secret. So guys, if you're just popping onto the live here, I'm with Eileen Wilder. She is co-author of this wonderful book that I recommend everyone get, by the way. It's called $1 Million Speaker. She is inspiring people and teaching people how to be a $1 million speaker. It's a book, guys. It's a book. But there's so much more to Eileen. So we're going to ask her some more questions. If you're popping in, wave at me and I'll wave back at you, I promise. But thank you so much, Eileen, for joining me today on this live. I really do appreciate you. So tell me, because I know for me, I don't feel like I'm pulled to the stage. My husband tells me I have a story and he's like, you should, but I'm like, that's okay. It's scary. It's scary. And I know you were very fearful of being on. Tell me, how did you get over that?
Oh my gosh, I was so crazy town scaredy pants, Monica, of being on stage. It would shock many of you. Like, did you know that the number one fear, even over death, is public speaking?
Yes. That's me.
Like, isn't that crazy? It's like we're more afraid of getting up in front of a bunch of people than, like, I heard someone, or Jerry Seinfeld said, like, people are more afraid of giving the eulogy at a funeral than being in the casket. Isn't that amazing? And that was me. Like, I used to have anxiety attacks. In fact, one time I was so scared, Monica. I was supposed to, my turn was to do a presentation. I got so scared. I tossed the microphone to my husband and ran out the back door of the building. I was like in my car on the way home, and they were like, Miss Eileen, Wilder to the stage. And my husband got up and like, I don't even know what happened. So like, if you have nervousness or just a hesitancy to stepping forward, I totally understand. But what's so cool, Monica, is on the other side of breaking through some of that anxiety, there's this freedom and there's this fun and there is this like connection with the audience and there is this soaring feeling of impact because you're touching hundreds and thousands of lives at one time.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Isn't it so cool? So it's like kind of the now I do think that I have figured out a way to get people over fear very quickly. So some people that takes years, like it took me years. Nobody helped me. I don't know what I did wrong there, but it took me way too long. So I know how to get people like over that quick. But like, if you can imagine with me, if you getting over it, for everybody listening, like it is the coolest thing in the world to have people coming up to you afterwards, perhaps like they do with you, Monica, listening to your podcast going, thank you so much. I felt like you were speaking right to me.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? Like hearing about the impact is the coolest thing. You get like addicted to it,
Yeah. And I mean, I've definitely been on a stage before. And if someone told me that you were as fearful as you used to be, I would say, no way.
You're like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, walk out there and to me, you're so confident. And I know you built that time, but in the energy you exude when you're there, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you. And thanks, Monica. So cool. That's so cool. No one knows except you guys here on the live. Now you know.
And the people who look at this afterwards. Yeah. So
yes.
Well, someone put in the chat that Eileen rocks the stage. So
What's up, team? Yeah, I mean, think about it too. Like, there's a version. I love to say this, Monica, that there's like I came to introduce you to a you that you haven't met yet.
That's good.
Yeah, and there's a you for everybody listening. There's a you inside of you that you can unlock on stage. You know how Beyonce has like Sasha Fierce?
Yes.
I feel like there's a version of all of us that happens on the stage that doesn't happen anywhere else. It's like there's a version of ourselves that's almost like feels like a superpower. Like, wow. Yeah, and I really feel like there's an easy way to unlock and unleash people's superpower on the stage. And I actually feel like, Monica, when people see themselves, it's actually who they really are. It's like who they really are.
You're making me feel like I need to unlock that side of me. I don't know that girl. I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Monica times 2. You know what I mean? And I think we all crave this sense of maximizing our potential. And I feel like nothing kind of demands that more than the stage. I feel like the stage forces us to create the best version of ourselves because we have a short amount of time. We must change lives within seconds. So who is the person I need to become that unleashes the audience on the stage?
Wow.
Like a superhero.
Right.
You know?
So technically we are all superheroes.
Yeah, I really feel like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like legit.
Wow. I've never even thought about that before.
Okay.
Really are all superheroes. So do you feel like the fear is the main thing that holds people back, or is there other things as well that hold?
I feel like fear is a really big thing because a lot of us don't feel like our story is powerful enough. You know, I heard someone say that's like, we're so close to our superpower, we don't think it's that super. So it's like you assume that everybody knows what you know. And just as a reminder, nobody knows what you know. Like, they legit do not know what you know. So every person has a signature message that is paying forward the pain, the life experiences, the strategies they figured out. They got mentored. They went to the conferences. They read the books. They figured some stuff out. You know what I'm saying, Monica? And like, how many of you watching this and listening, like, you legit know some stuff? Like, you know a couple things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe like you think about where you were 5 years ago and all the stuff you didn't know 5 years ago. Like, there are thousands and millions of people out there who are right there who just need your tips. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes we don't value our story enough to step forward, to get loud, to show up, you know, on stage. So, and then I think the strategy, Monica, is also fuzzy. Like, it's fuzzy to know, how do I become a speaker full time? I think that holds people back because it's confusing.
It is.
Yeah. Yes.
I agree. And people.
It's fuzzy to know, how do I become a speaker full time? I think that holds people.
Stages. And I had someone even tell me that I need to be on a stage. So we'll talk about that later, Eileen.
Let's go, Monica. Let's go.
But you're right. No one else has the experience that we have, and no one has walked every single step in our shoes, right? And so sometimes I feel like, even when I'm talking to people about business, I'm like, who am I to tell people?
Yeah.
You know? And I think a lot of us definitely have that kind of who am I thing.
Yes.
I'm going to start walking around feeling more like a superhero. I really like that. So
yeah, you know what's so crazy, Monica? This is a great speaker tip for everybody listening. Studies show that the posture of the speaker is what determines if the audience is going to listen to them or not. This is so interesting. Yeah, the posture, the physical posture of the speaker. They said within 2 seconds, an audience can determine if they want to listen to the speaker or not, based on the physical posture of the speaker.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy town?
That's crazy town. And I wonder if it's because of the confidence or the lack thereof.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. So someone asked a really great question, Eileen, here. It says, how do I make $1 million from
Oh,
stage?
I got you. Do you have your pen? Do you have your paper? I got you. So the quickest way to make $1 million as a speaker. Oh, okay. Are you guys ready? Because I'm gonna go quick. The quickest way is to like crush one signature message.
Okay.
Just one. Like I did the same message for 2.5 years, and that's how I got on the biggest stages that I'm in my world right now. One signature message. So you don't need 9 messages. You don't need 24. You just need to crush one. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the best speakers, y'all, they have a product at the end of their signature message. They sell something. Now, before your brain's like, I don't want to sell anything, what you need to understand is your audience wants to go deeper with you. They legit pants want mentorship. Okay, so and what I used to love to sell, this was so fun. I used to sell like a VIP day at the end of my message. Cool, right?
Yeah.
Just like, yo, let's just like, and it was like, we're on Zoom, let's do a VIP day, like, boom. Other people, they sell other stuff. That's what I sold. Okay. Now, if you're tracking with me, you're like, okay, Eileen, how do you make $1 million? One message, one product. Well, I know I'm like, well, Mr. Smarty Pants, this is how in your VIP day or in your course or whatever it is that you sell, you just bonus a ticket to a virtual event. You're like this. You're like, along with your VIP day or along with your retreat or along with your course, you're going to get a ticket to Monica's virtual event. Okay, now this is where it gets good. Virtual events. Now you got a bunch of people coming into your virtual event. You're like, okay, Eileen, what do I do now? Well, this is a really cool thing. Virtual events are like little incubators for cash infusions. Somebody say cash infusions. Like that's a good word. That's a healthy vocabulary as an entrepreneur. Virtual events translate, like the math in your brain should translate virtual events equals cash infusion.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay, so I know if you're tracking with me, so you got one message, you got one product, you bonus a ticket, they're all up in your grill here in your virtual event. You're like, what do I do now? Okay, so you're going to talk and you can have guest speakers come. It's like a big party on Zoom. Like, yeah. It's ridiculous that I cannot believe, Monica, that we were born in this day and age. So imagine having like a party with all your crazy cool friends inside this virtual event. And then at the end of the virtual event, you're going to offer something premium.
Okay.
Something like a mentorship, something like a mastermind. One of my clients, what's up, Jimmy? I love you too. Thanks for the love. One of my clients was like, Eileen, I 100% have no idea what to sell at the end of my virtual event. I'm like, cool. Well, like, what's your product? And he's like, yeah, I sell this $3,000 course. I'm like, oh, sweet. We're just going to take your $3,000 course and we're going to raise the price. Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to have it someplace super cool. You're going to teach your course someplace crazy cool. He's like, okay. He's like, could I do it in a castle? I was like, yes, you can. May I come? Because I want to be, so he's like rented a castle in Scotland or something like that. And he taught his product there.
Oh, wow.
In the castle. Now, if you're tracking with me, I think he did something like 30 or 34 sales, made $1 million.
Wow. So he made a price. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he didn't, now for him, because he was just getting started, this is my friend Rasmus, he did a few events. Like he didn't do $1 million in one day. We've had other clients that have done $1 million in a day. Mm-hmm. But with that new premium package, he did a few virtual events and he went over $1 million, becoming $1 million speaker with like 3 or 4 events.
Wow. That's amazing. Do you find that and I mean, I know you've had some success stories, and if you want to share more of those, I would love it. Do you find that people sometimes have qualms about raising their prices. They're afraid of their prices.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah. So Dan Kennedy calls it price cowardice. Isn't that interesting?
Oh,
Price
wow.
cowardice. A lot of internal resistance. Couple quick things. How many of you guys would be like, could I just break that off of you or just set you free right now so that you can raise your prices? How many of you would just like to charge more for what you're already selling, right? Like the mind wants to be like, nobody's going to buy that, right? The mind is like, I can't do that. But if you think about this, that right now, somebody else is selling exactly what you sell for like $30,000.
Wow.
Think about that just for a second. Like I had a health client that was selling something for like $200. And I was like, hey, have you met, Sally, my other client who's selling the exact same thing that you're selling for $30,000? And she's like, that's not a thing. That's not real. I'm like, no, it 100% is real. Yeah. And here's the evidence and the Stripe transactions and the wires. Like one of the first things is to draw your awareness that right now the market is transacting the exact thing you're selling, but for way higher prices, right? So just like be aware, because that some people aren't even thinking about that. Okay. So then my question is like, why not you?
Right.
Why not you? Like, if you feel like your stuff's good and can your stuff get a result for somebody? That's like, you got to be awesome, right? Like,
right.
you with me. You can't have inferior, subpar results and command premium prices. But if your stuff is good, people who pay attention.
Right. So speaking of people who pay, Nina had the question, is the virtual event free, then you sell from the stage? How do you?
Well, great question. If you do it kind of the formula I was saying, which is bonusing a ticket inside of a product, then it won't be free, right? Because they'll have to buy your product to get into the virtual event. But we do run virtual events just on their own, and they can be free with a VIP upgrade.
Okay.
So there's lots of ways you could do virtual events. Because it's kind of like, it's so crazy town, y'all. We got so into it, Monica, when we first got started. We did a 4-hour virtual event, just 4 hours, like Friday afternoons.
Okay.
Me and my friend Joe, who I wrote the book with. And we made so much money and had so much fun. We were like, do you want to do this next week? And he's like, yeah. And he was trying to buy a mansion. And so we just like literally felt like we had a party every Friday doing a virtual event.
Wow.
So easy. Cash infusion. Because it's like, how much cash are you wanting to collect? I'm here to announce to someone today, virtual events is the fastest path.
I would say for everybody on this live, write down that number. How much do you want? Because seeing something written, it becomes more concrete. It becomes,
yes.
Write it down.
I love that.
Yes. And if you're just joining, I'm with Eileen Wilder, co-author of $1 Million Speaker. So Eileen is going to tell us a little bit more too about how you can actually, someone said, I could listen to you speak all day. So I tell them how they can hear you speak more. But also you can pick up her book. You can pick up she and Joe's book and learn even more. Okay, so Nina also asked, does the virtual event have to be fancy pants?
I love it. I love it. And I love these numbers y'all are typing in. Let's go.
Yes.
Nina, such a good question. And that I love to add the word pants to actually everything that I say ever. So no, it doesn't have to be fancy pants. So how we do it, like I'll just show you. So I'm in my office and here's my lights and my mic and my computer. And I do a virtual event here like once a week. My house manager, my kids are right out there. I homeschool. I'm just giving you guys, this is okay to go behind the scenes. So like, this is where, so if you can imagine showing up in a Zoom room where there's, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, you only need 200 people to do $1 million day. What? Yeah. So it's just like super low key, like low maintenance virtual events. I used to, Monica, go to a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I swear the hotel people charged like $600 a gallon of coffee. Like it's so expensive having a live event. So the fact that we can go virtually, learn to speak well, like you got to speak well. That's why the book teaches you how to become an awesome speaker. If you can do that and have a virtual event, is crazy town. It is crazy town. If I showed you some of the numbers that our clients do, it's like 500K in one event, 600K in one event, 1.7 million in an event. Like it's like, what is even happening right now?
Yeah. You're making me rethink my like entire business model right now.
That's what I said. I was like when you do let's say when you do a 6-figure day, I remember that's the first time I did a 6-figure day. Monica, I just like stared out the window and I was like, I'm 40 and I've been broke. I'm 40 and I'm broke. And I just figured out how to do 6 figures in a day. And it made me ask myself the question, what have I been doing with all the other days in my life? Like, what have I been doing? What have I been focusing on? And see, the system, Monica, robs us of the thing we should be focusing on, which is this speed to the wealth. Like, get your running pants on, your big boy pants on, your big girl pants on, and speed to the wealth. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's like we've already bought into this, like, get rich slow scheme. We need to wake up. We just like
go to college, get a good job, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it.
Work it till you die, 100%. Like, that's why it gets me angry. That's why it gets me lit up. Like, this is why I'm so honored to be on this podcast with you and just be like, there's an easy way to run the play. There's like a legit pants, easy way to run the play.
Right. I love your reference to running the play too, because we can easily make things so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to be that hard, you know? But we feel guilty too. There's some guilt in that. There's some guilt if we feel like we didn't work hard enough to get there.
Yes. Yes, very good. And what we need to understand is that working hard doesn't bring wealth. Working hard is not connected to wealth. There's actually no connection to working hard. Think about the stock market or Warren Buffett. Like, I mean, yes, there's going to be some work involved getting your spaceship like out of the orbit so that it runs on autopilot 100%. But wealth is attracted to working smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You look at some of the wealthiest people, for sure.
They're not going into an office and working 9 to 5. That's what they're not doing.
Right.
And they're not incrementally growing. They're quantum leap growing their wealth. So yeah, there's so many lessons that we're not taught if you grew up like I grew up in the traditional school system. Like I was in calculus 2 or AP calculus, Monica. Like, what in the world were they stuffing our brains with? And we're not learning investing. So yeah, I probably should just calm down right now, Monica, because
But no, I get on that same soapbox because we don't learn how to live practically. We learn to get put into a box.
Yes.
We are here to fill a peg. And that's the chain I want to break. I don't want to do that.
High five, girl. High five, girl. That is 100%. And that's why I get so excited. And for those of you listening, like if you feel called to speak, speaking is the highest paid skill on the planet. Because what other profession, just think about it, what other profession could you go into that could make you $1 million in a day? Like legit, just think about it. Like what comes to mind of something you could do with your time that would make you $1 million in a day? Speaking.
Right. And not only that, what's so cool about speaking, again, Eileen, you got me, I'm feeling tugged a little bit here. But you make such a massive impact. You mentioned before. The fact that if you want to change the world, if you want to make a change, as somebody put here that public school is trash. Well, maybe that's your platform, Jimmy. Maybe that's what you can speak on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What passion is and where you can make a difference in the world, that's impact.
Mm.
And then making $1 million, you can also make financial impact.
Yeah, I know. This is why I almost sometimes feel like, why would anybody want to do something other than this? Because it's like your whole job is inspiring people. That's like your legit pants job. That's like it. Like,
I love your pants.
yeah, it's like you show up, you inspire people, they pay you for deeper mentorship. Now, again, you got to be good. You got to know your stuff. Like, you got to be able to get a result. But there's people, I have clients doing relationship coaching, clients doing real estate consulting. Someone was doing horse safety. There is like there's an event for you. There's a signature message for you. Like, speaking is the fastest, coolest way to impact and income.
So Nina has another question. Nina is coming off with these questions. She says, how do you choose your signature message?
Ooh, good. So the way that I do it, Nina, is this is a big mistake that people make in the speaker industry is they get up and they start sharing their personal story of like their whole life. They're like, once upon a time in a dark, stormy Hurricane Ian, I was born. Like they go way far, like way too far back. Like, no. The audience isn't interested as much in your story. They are interested in your story, but here's the story they're interested in. They want to know the story of how you discovered your system. How you discovered the strategy that caused a breakthrough for you. How you discovered, I'll give you some examples here in a second, how you discovered the steps. So they want the story of the system, not necessarily your personal biography. You will absolutely 100% lose the audience if you start talking too long about your personal drama, your trauma drama. Why is that? Because the audience really cares more about themselves.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not wrong. I think that's like a self-preservation technique. God made us to care about ourselves. So the whole time the audience is thinking, how is this going to help me? So when you tell a story of how you discovered the strategy, guess what they're going to want next? Guess what? Once you tell a story of how you found the thing, what do you think they're going to want to hear next? They're going to want to hear now the exact steps of the strategy. They're like now fully invested. They're like, oh my gosh, tell me more because I could implement that strategy in my life. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
When I first got started, I was a pastor. 18 years. I forgot to tell you guys, I was in ministry, nonprofit, love it. And when I got over into the business world, I was like, oh, but somebody told me that my skills as a pastor could translate into life coaching. So my very first system, my very first product I sold was how to gain unstoppable confidence. Okay. So if you're tracking with me, when I did my signature message, I talked about how I discovered unstoppable confidence. Okay. I'm not going too far back. I went lose the audience. So you're going to talk about how did you find the thing that you found? Can you remember? Like, how did you find out about how to become a podcaster or an Instagram influencer? Or how did you find out? You know what I'm saying? That's the story. That's your signature message.
Oh, that was good. Okay, so everybody who's on this live, think through that. How did you find out whatever it is that you have found out, whatever you're doing, how did you find out?
Yep.
That's so good, Eileen. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then I have a question from Ethan that says, how would you monetize a personal development offer?
Ooh, good. So personal development is best sold or best monetized by some type of coaching. So high performance coaching is where I've seen the money play in personal development, because there's a lot of people, including myself, that hire like advanced. They may go by like high performance or mindset coaches because we want to be able to perform at a high level. So personal development is best monetized by selling high performance coaching.
Okay. All right, Ethan, there you go. High performance coaching. So, Eileen, tell us what inspired you and Joe, your business partner, to write.
Oh,
Why put all the secrets in a book?
Okay, why put it in a book? Okay, here's why I put it in a book, team. Because so many speakers are so boring pants. Like, so boring. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, have you ever been in a seminar, a conference, a class? Can y'all remember back in the day, like back in school? And the speaker just like loses the audience.
Yes.
And you may have noticed the audience kind of like a glaze go over their eyes, or like people, the worst is if the audience starts to pull out their phones. Monica, if the audience starts to pull out their phones, it's like the curse of death. It's like you've lost it. You're gone. Okay. So Joe and I, my business partner, were like, how are the really good speakers? What are they doing? Like, what are they doing to make the audience, like, we come from a really like kind of a fun church background, like where people would stand up and people would give a speaker a standing ovation, or they'd high five their neighbor or run around the church. Like, it was so fun. So we were like, how are the best, most powerful communicators? Like, what's Tony Robbins doing in his speaking that's making him so good or in so demand, right? And we figured out a hidden framework that makes them crush it. It took us forever, and we watched like hundreds of hours of the best speeches. We went on YouTube and searched by like most popular videos. You know, we found Dr. Martin Luther King, JFK, and T.D. Jakes, and Joel Osteen, and just all the like greats. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is what they're doing. And
I'm actually on that chapter right now.
Are you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy town. And I don't know if they even know that they're doing it, but they're 100% following this framework, this speaking framework. So we started teaching it to our students, and they started crushing it and selling more stuff than they ever had sold before, because they'd learned how to move the audience.
Gotcha. So I have two more things for you, Eileen. One,
yeah.
Ruth Ann with Wix Design Her says, would pivoting your career in your early 50s somehow translate to personal development?
Would pivoting your career, can I pivot my career in my early 50s to personal development? Is that sort of the nature of the question?
Well, I think she's saying, so she pivoted her career in her 50s. I think she's getting to her story, like what would be her signature talk that translate to like a personal development area.
Yes, exactly. Because think about, like, that's actually one of the biggest demographics right now on Facebook and YouTube, that age group. So it could be like how I shifted my career in my early 50s or late 50s into a job that I love. How I found personal fulfillment, how I extreme life satisfaction, how I found the career of my dreams in my early 50s, and how you can too. You know what I'm saying? That story is great, because it's like, wait, what? And then if you gave the steps of how you did that, like, we could just play around, right? Like if you were like, I researched all the things I could do. I interviewed yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. And then I sent out my resume, or then I did this, and then I started this. And then now everyone's like, oh, you can do that? And you have like a framework, and you have like steps. They're like, will you show me how to do that? And you're like, yes, buy my thing. Bonus a ticket. You tracking with me?
Yes.
So yeah, you just do that for any story.
Very good. All right. I know we don't have much time left, but Eileen, tell people how they can like get to know you better, hear you, and all that great stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, my Instagram friends, you can follow me at Eileen Wild, and there's a link in my bio for you to learn more. Or you can join me at one of our upcoming challenges where we'll show you how to become $1 million speaker and crush 6 and 7 figure days with speaking as your full-time career. So, you know how like some of these events, Monica, they charge like thousands of dollars, like a ticket price to go to these conferences, and you got to fly there, and then you got to find a babysitter for your kids like I do. So great news. This isn't thousands of dollars. So because it's virtual, it's super affordable, super cheap. You can go to any of the links I just mentioned in my bio or $1 Million Speaker Challenge and join us there and discover how you could have the coolest career on the planet, changing people's lives.
Fantastic. Okay, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Can you share another success story with us? Students, from one of your students?
Yeah, 100%. I have lots of success stories. And one of my faves is my friends Ryan and Lydia. They help women with their hormones. So cool. They were like fitness people, and now they have something called like hormone hacking. And now I'm a client of theirs. I love their stuff. And they were selling something really, really cheap, Monica, something like around maybe $200. Okay. They came in, started doing their virtual events. They're like, we start with a 4-hour virtual event. So just like easy peasy lemon squeezy. We just announce it that week on social media, like, hey, I'm doing this cool thing. Want to come, blah, blah, blah. And they made, I think, something like $146,000 now from their virtual events. And they have a premium package now. They were selling something really low ticket. Now, like, I think their premium package is around $15,000 right now in the health and fitness space, which for many people, they think I only can sell low ticket because I'm in health and fitness. But it's just like the only limitations exist in your own mind.
Yes.
You can charge more than you think you can charge. And you can then serve those clients at a much higher level, just like they serve me at a very high level, helping me with blood work and fitness and nutrition and supplements. If you saw all the supplements I have, it would make you dizzy. But like, I'm just saying, like, many of you are sitting on top of a pile of cash. And that pile of cash, like underneath you, is like multi-millions of dollars.
Wow. You know what that makes me think of too is quality over quantity. So
Ooh.
we want to serve the masses.
Yep.
Do it so well. Whereas if we serve fewer people, we can serve them more than 100%.
Yes.
Yes. So I have a couple of things. Again, you all pick up this book. It is so good. It really is a great way to jumpstart your $1 million speaking career.
Let's go.
And also, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, there's a link to Eileen's 5-day challenge.
Yes.
In my bio. So you can get to see her beautiful face and hear her wonderful voice and learn so much more from her. Because this is just the tip of the iceberg. We've only been here 45 minutes and she's already dropped so many nuggets, so many gems that we can use. Imagine what you'll get in 5 days.
Yeah.
Just saying. Eileen, thank you so very much. Is there some last words you'd like to leave us with? Because this has been great.
Follow Monica, hit the link in her bio. My encouragement is the world needs what you have to offer so bad. Is crazy town. So let insecurity go, let fear go. Nobody's judging you, no one's criticizing you. Step forward, share your voice and your message because the world needs what you have to offer. So I'm here cheering you on. Go, baby, go. And I can't wait to see you in the challenge. And you can hit the link in Monica's bio and I'll see you guys there.
Yes, that'll be great. And I'll also put the link to buy the book in my bio as well. So you guys I'll get that in there in a few minutes. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, Monica. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
If you're interested in checking out the 5-day $1 million speaker challenge training with Eileen and her co-author, Joseph Aaron, you can see the link in my Instagram bio at Become Your Own Boss podcast for more information. The training starts today, but you can definitely still register. I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode and took away a few nuggets to help you grow in your future speaking career. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss.